Well, election analysis is only moments away tonight, but we do start with Bolshevik Bernie Sanders, who just can't seem to help himself. Well, now the Democratic frontrunner is doubling down on his effusive praise of communism. Sure, Castro murdered tens of thousands of his own citizens. He locked up political dissidents, confiscated private property, outlawed all freedoms, and induced widespread starvation and poverty. But according to Bolshevik Bernie, Fidel Castro's literacy program made it all worth it, which is why literally hundreds of thousands of Cubans, risked their lives in broken down, rickety, dilapidated boats and shark-infested waters in inner tubes in the hopes of getting here. And thankfully, many did. Take a look.
A lot of folks in Cuba at that point who are literate. And he formed the literacy brigade. You may read that. He went out and they helped people learn to read and write. You know what? I think teaching people to read and write is a good thing. I have been extremely consistent and critical of all authoritarian regimes all over the world, including Cuba, including Nicaragua, including Saudi Arabia, including China, including Russia.
Now, this is now the second straight day Bolshevik Bernie has gone out of his way praising Castro's communist dictatorship. Oh, hang on. My tie is off. There we go. Perfect. Anyway, and for what? A propaganda-filled re-education program masquerading as a literacy platform? Now, either Bolshevik Bernie is incredibly stupid, or he thinks we, the people, are incredibly stupid. His radical brand of Soviet-style socialism is about one thing only. That is government, control, and takeover of every aspect of our lives. Now, in every socialist hellhole, from Venezuela to Cuba to the USSR, his honeymoon place, the process is always the same. And it all starts with the nationalization of major industry and promises, oh, the government is going to give everyone everything for free. We're going to take care of everything for you. Well, that's what the new Green Deal is all about. That's what Medicare for All is all about. And Bolshevik Bernie is literally plotting a government takeover of two of America's largest industries. And make no mistake, this could easily cost over $100 trillion in the next 10 years. But don't worry, Bernie has a plan to cover the cost, and you're all going to pay for it. Today, he actually rolled out nine brand new tax hikes for all of you to enjoy. And by the way, here's what the fake news media will ignore. To start, anybody that makes $29,000 a year is going to get slapped with a 4% tax increase. Up next, employers will get hit with an additional 7.5% payroll tax. By the way, they'll pass that on to we, the consumers. High-income earners, they're going to now get taxed at a top federal rate of 52%. That's a 15% hike there. Capital gains, that'll go through the roof. By the way, the death tax, after you paid taxes, after they steal more money with his wealth tax, and when you die, he's going to take 77% as a top rate. Wow, they tax you again. You have to pay to die in America. The corporate income tax rate will go up to 35%, a 14-point increase. A new cap on itemized tax deductions will be imposed. The oil and gas industry will be hit with a $3 trillion tax increase. Wonder what they're going to do with the price of oil and gas. I guess we're going to pay that, too. And last but not least, large corporations of Bernie's choosing will get hit with a brand new $2 trillion tax. Now, that will be a recipe for economic disaster because corporations are not stupid. They are going to leave this country and take their business elsewhere, as will billionaires and millionaires. They are not going to give their wealth over to Bernie Sanders and his Bolshevik revolution. By the way, it still doesn't quite account for the trillions in new spending. And laughably now, Bolshevik Bernie's campaign is claiming that his insane programs will magically create 20 million new jobs. Well, he was just saying the other night that we were going to lose jobs under his plan. And by the way, he's also claiming they will magically save the government trillions of dollars and that will make up the funding gap. I know he's old, so he may not have a calculator yet. Maybe somebody can update his abacus and give poor Bernie a new calculator. Maybe buy him an iPhone or something, because his math won't ever add up. But tonight, I do have to hand it to Bernie from his unyielding praise of communism, bragging about oppressive new taxes. Well, he is at least slightly more honest than his opponents. Medicare for all, Green New Deal, late-term abortions, elimination of the Second Amendment, open borders, free health care for illegal immigrants. Oh, we not only have sanctuary cities, but a sanctuary country. They all pretty much want the same thing. All of these Democrats, they are all radical extreme socialists. Bolshevik Bernie's raw candor about the radical Democratic Party's platform is making them a little nervous. Just don't tell everybody this is what we think. They know the American people won't buy it, so now figuratively, well, they are speaking out against Bernie. Take a look.
You've had 6 national elections. The Democrats since 1992 have won the majority. Why you would take that playbook that has succeeded not once, 6 times, throw it out and try something not center-left, but just left?
That's what I want to get.
Makes no sense.
These positions will be caricatured by Trump, and I think that what a lot of Democrats are saying is that a Bernie Sanders nomination puts the House at risk.
It sounds pretty crazy. What I listened to on 60 Minutes, he was right off.
Yeah, but
Has there been a communist regime that Bernie Sanders visited that he didn't find something appealing about?
there is nothing groovy about a dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just nothing good.
Now, these radical, unapologetic, socialist views are not the only concern inside the Democratic Party. Well, now we're seeing attacks about his gross, disturbing articles in the case of Bolshevik Bernie from the 70s. Now, this includes what we showed you last night, where Bernie openly fantasizing about a gang rape in a piece that he wrote for an alternative newspaper. Tonight, we have now uncovered another article to show you. By the way, viewer warning, it is just as sick and creepy as what we told you about last night. This piece, 1969, Sanders writing, quote, "Now, if children go around naked, well, they are liable to see each other's sexual organs and maybe even touch them. Terrible thing. We raise children up like this, it will probably ruin the whole pornography business." His words, not mine. By the way, he's a grown adult man, and he wrote that. Something wrong with this guy, like Creepy Joe, like Mike Bloomberg. And today, by the way, the surprise of fake news CNN is that a Bloomberg advisor actually highlighted Bernie's bizarre writings. Let's take a look at that.
Bernie has all of this loopy stuff in his background saying things like, women get cancer from having too many orgasms, or toddlers should run around naked and touch each other's genitals to insulate themselves from porn. Why has this stuff not been more surfaced? He's written about women's rape fantasies. That hasn't been surfaced. That's the loony side of Bernie.
All right, does Bloomberg really care about any of this? Probably not, but his campaign is happy to deflect from what was the worst debate performance in American political history. And by the way, he came in with prepared lines, and they fell flat tonight. And he also talked about, I bought Congress. I bought Congress. Wow, okay. What about ethics? And what about, let's see, that's not the right thing to do? That's okay, just buy your seats? He also wants to deflect from some newly uncovered audio involving him from 2016, where the former mayor was more than happy to trash Barack Obama. How's this going to go over in the Democratic primary, especially when you add it to, we only throw minority kids up against the wall. You Xerox a copy, same MO, minority 16 to 25. That's where we put all the cops, because that's where all the crime is, in only minority neighborhoods. Listen to this latest one.
The second Obama election, I wrote a very backhanded endorsement of Obama, saying I thought he hadn't done the right thing, hadn't been good at the things that I think are important, and Romney would be a better person at doing that. But Romney did not stick with the values that he had when he was governor of Massachusetts.
All right, buckle up. Why? Because the chaos in the Democratic Party is now descending into what is a nasty political civil war, the likes of which we may have never seen before.